The Gerber Applegate Fairbairn full-size folder. This is the topic in the next episode of Old Soldier. Hello everybody, this is Old Soldier. The topic today on this episode is the Gerber Applegate Fairbairn combat folder. I picked up this knife in Iraq, but I picked it up in a shopette out there. What I was doing, well, it wasn't that sexy, but you are in a war zone, and you know why the probability of me going hands-on with somebody was probably pretty small. The possibility, being it's in a war zone, was 100%. The possibility was always there. So, you know, being the knife guy that I am, I saw it in the shopette, and it was offered at a very reasonable price, and I picked it up. So, I carried this from time to time when I was over there. This sucker is big. Alright, and sometimes I carried it in the pouch, and sometimes I carried it in the pocket. One thing I will say is the pocket clip is good, but it ain't great. And one time it did slip out, and I got up. I got up and it fell out of my pocket. One feature this knife does have, it has a locker that helps prevent the knife from accidentally closing. I don't know. I never had it accidentally closed, so I guess I like that feature. Right on the knife itself, it says Applegate Fairbairn, from the designers of the knife. Legendary design. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet about those two gentlemen. I'm not going to go any further on them. As it says right there, this model is the combat folder. Now, this knife is big. The overall length is 10 inches. The blade itself is coming up upon 5 inches. So one thing I will say, in the United States, in urban areas, I don't know if I'd carry this thing in my pocket, because first of all, it's huge, and then second of all, depending upon statutes, most states, this is going to be considered a concealed weapon. So I'd be very careful how this was used and carried. This channel is not a dedicated knife channel. I tend to just review things that I have personally used during my lifetime, in my career, and in my personal activities, my hobbies outdoors. The steel of this blade is 420 HC. One side is sharpened, it's partially serrated, and the other side is a false edge. And I can't say I probably used this the most when I was deployed, and I've used it less and less since, but it has stood up pretty well. And I will say this, the primary purpose of a knife like this is to inflict deep penetrating trauma, or as one of my old Army buddies used to say, stabbing and jabbing. This is a self-defense combat blade. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. I have heard it in some accounts. I don't know. I don't want to take it as gospel. But I have heard through word of mouth that Medal of Honor holder Belvaqua, I believe the 1st Infantry Division, was involved in clearing a building by himself, engaged in hand-to-hand combat, and he did employ one of these. Don't know whether it's true. Don't want to say it. That's what I've heard. One of the very first knives that I reviewed on my channel, and one of my first episodes ever, was the automatic knife version, the switchblade version of this. Once again, you can say Applegate Fairbairn. And this is very light, small, easily concealed. And I'm going to put it side by side for comparison. You can tell by that alone just how much smaller or how much larger the combat folder is. And I guess if we're having a conversation about combat cutlery, daggers, we should at least mention the Fairbairn Sykes commando knife. Never carried this, had one, a friend of mine gave it to me. Kind of a cool item, and made famous by the British Commandos in World War II, and definitely capable of inflicting deep penetrating trauma. So whether you're a user or a collector, this is definitely a cool knife. The short period of time I used it a lot. I used it, probably carried it daily for a period of about 4 months, and it worked out well for me. But You know, they are out of production right now. I see them on eBay from about $200 to $250. You know, daggers have their place as a field knife because you really can't chop or hack with them. You can cut with them, and you can definitely thrust with them. But, you know, there is a place for them. What you want to use it for is up to you. But they are a cool knife. Gerber, you know, overall for what they are, they're not a custom knife, but for a mass manufacturer, I have had pretty good luck with Gerber knives. So there you have it, folks. That is Old Soldier's review on the Gerber Applegate Fairbairn Combat Folder. This is Old Soldier out.